It's about politics. It's actually so much worse. It's about nihilism, about not believing anything, about living in an online world that's one big inside joke about how stupid and useless is the America that conventional people of both parties are still living in.
Do you have a preferred solution for the crisis of American healthcare?
No.
For himself, we can nuke Texas, quite literally eliminate Texas off the map.
I mean, would your preference be that we do away with all of Texas?
You nailed it.
You know, the Democratic Party's lost 160,000 registered Democrats since this November election. If they think the country's going more left, why is the Democrats losing their own people? They've got to come back to center. Center left, center right's where you run the country. And all these types of things are saying, oh, this makes this person non-electable, or basically it drives people away from the party. The thing that drives them away is we're not getting the character and the quality of the person we used to get.
Bill Manchin is a corporate Democrat. But what does that mean?
Can't. I've tried everything humanly possible. I can't get there.
You're done. This is a no.
This is a no.
For Joe losing Joe Manchin. This Joe Manchin, boy, have you been reading about him? Whew. For a Democrat, he is the most powerful Republican in the Senate. I tell you, this guy...
In business, it's billions and billions of dollars, and they close it down. They control the primaries. They can basically control who you're voting for.
You hear that, Bernie and Elizabeth and Beto and the rest of them? They got nowhere else to go.
Or an aberration. And I think when you see what's happening here, it gives hope that actually maybe Trump is the aberration and that Barack Obama and Kamala Harris represent the future of the United States.
To Iraq. The Democratic Party is beholden to the people who pay the bills, and those are not the citizens. I mean, remember, Obama raised $600 million plus private dollars. He didn't take government funds for his election campaign, and most of that money came from places like Goldman Sachs.
Illegal as well. But this gets challenged in 2010, where you have this major case, Citizens United versus the Federal Election Committee.
It's not the candidates themselves who are actually running for this office or basically telling their stories. It's not even their parties here within the state. It's these outside groups.
Particularly so as the cost of elections skyrockets, which kind of forces the political parties into the pockets of major corporations. And this political power quickly translates into legislation that increases the concentration of wealth.
Live under inverted totalitarianism, by which he means that it's not classical totalitarianism. It doesn't find its expression through a demagogue or a charismatic leader, but through the anonymity of the corporate state.
Someone has to tell me why all the best voices speaking out against Republicans are Republicans. But here's the thing about squeezing people and keeping them insecure. It virtually ensures that our long-term major problems never get fixed. Something better. I mean, I know a lot of the younger people think it's socialism, but that may be because they don't remember when socialism was tried. And also the fact that we already have in our economy quite a bit of socialism. We are a hybrid economy. Would we at least agree with that? All the top countries on the list are ones with some form of universal health care. All have free or almost free higher education. All have strong unions, pensions, and social safety nets. Turns out, freedom from the fear of ending up in a tent below the overpass is a really great freedom. The right has a hard time understanding the concept that we don't want long lines for bread socialism. We want, you don't have to win the lotto to afford brain surgery socialism. Socialism.
What, you can become a trillionaire? I mean, where else on the planet could you become a trillionaire? I'm in favor of people making money.
I am too. I also think there has to be limits to everything. I mean, this is, again, when I'm talking about the nothing ever lands in the middle. Mandami, running for mayor in New York.
The point is, it's his money. He should be able to do with it what he wants.
In general, I agree. I just think... Because we didn't lose the comforts of being middle class all at once. They took it away from us an inch at a time. Story here, that our economy no longer creates a middle class, it sucks it dry. Will be a neo-fascist catastrophe, and Clinton will be a neoliberal disaster. I don't even know what a neoliberal disaster even means.
A giant liquidity and volatility constraint, which has been holding the system together ever since. Now, do you think that might have something to do with populism? What do you think? Let's have some clues. The red line is bank assets to GDP. Given that banks are essentially a pass-through, I like to call them the plumbing system of capitalism, there's absolutely no reason for them to grow at 3 times the rate of everything else in the house.
But whatever it is, isn't it better than a fascist one?
It's kind of horrible, right? The only possible appeal of that kind of politics is, well, at least they're not Nazis, right? So what they want is the left to be this kind of mishmash of bureaucratic market centrism and the right to be outright fascist.
Emerge from both sides and pledge to take control and bring about order. That's when democracy is most challenged, because it fails to control the anarchy. And it is when the move to a strong populist leader who will bring order to the chaos is most likely.
There's a symbiotic relationship between these centrists, who are just sort of sneering elitists, and these guys who are the scam artists who pretend to be yokels, who pretend to be idiots, or pretend to be fascists. They're not even real fascists, they're kind of phony fascists. They are trying to set up a situation where those are the only 2 viable political choices, because they both feed off and complement one another.
8 years later, there was a Democrat back in office. We don't know what's going to happen in 4 years at all.
So I'm suggesting that neoliberalism has been the U.S. model for 50 years, which puts our start date sometime in the 1970s.
My working definition is this, and the one I use in the book. It's a creed that wants to unleash capitalism's power and to free markets from constraints.
A system of technofeudalism accomplishes the political aim of demagogues while enriching existing oligarchs. Control is the point.
Exactly this way, but most largely do. So much so that it seems like the stories of rises and declines stay essentially the same, and the only things that change are the clothes the characters wear and the technologies they use.
And the result of that is that any legitimate left that's going to be coming up now is associated with this illegitimate woke left. And because the public hates the woke left, despises them, it puts socialists on a very difficult footing, because they're painted with the same brush as critical race theory, as post-structuralism, as post-colonial theory, decoloniality, and all this kind of stuff. One of the main responsibilities of socialists now is to openly and vocally criticize the woke left. They're hesitant to do so, and I think the reason they're hesitant is a lot of the socialist left exist on social media, magazines, podcasts, and a lot of their viewers are these people, and they're afraid of alienating them. They're afraid of because a lot of the consumers of left media are identitarians, and people are afraid of alienating them. But unless you start criticizing this stuff, you're going to go down with the ship. Rufo's going to win. Trump's going to win. The battle against the university left, they're going to win it. The battle against woke media, they're going to win it. And unless we're able to say that, yeah, we think this stuff is bullshit, we're going to be left holding the bag.
We must find and advance those slogans and forms of struggle which arise from the vital needs of the masses,